What's going on, guys? 360 Digital Closing Bell here. I am your humble correspondent, Michael Tanner. We are live on YouTube from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, here in this beautiful June 23rd, 2020. An awesome Tuesday here. It's a really hot outside right now. So I don't know where it is at with our executive producer and the publisher and director of Oil and Gas 360.com, Stuart Turley. How's the weather out in Dallas?
Oh, it's doing beautiful. I had a rainy day today, but you gotta love it.
You gotta love it. We have a great show for you guys lined up. One big thing of the day, hit piece from Bloomberg comes out. We will obviously address it, give our thoughts on it. Stu's got some stuff in the international news desk. We'll kind of cover, what's happened in the market today. Fresh all-time highs. Who knows if it even feels like fresh all-time highs, but there were. But before we do that, please just subscribe. 360 Digital Closing Bell, iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. The best way to stay up to date on all of your energy market news. We just released a podcast, long-form podcast yesterday, sort of just covering, a little bit about what happened in Shale 1.0 and what we think is moving forward in the patch. Please check that out and subscribe it. As I mentioned in the overall markets today, fresh all-time highs, and who knows if it really feels like that. NASDAQ specifically reaching an all-time high in tech stocks. Apple led that. Index up 2% off of a lot of investor woos from this new software. They held a little software convention with a worldwide conference. I didn't necessarily tap in, but that was a lot of the gains in the NASDAQ. SPY finished about a half a percentage point up, 13. Not quite setting all-time highs in the SPY, but NASDAQ, as I mentioned, 10,209. That's 80-point increase, or about about 3/4 of a percentage point. And again, reaching all-time highs. Dow Jones finishing about a half a percentage point up, 26,156, or about 131 points up. Crude oil reaches $41, going to now finish and settle just below 40, right around 40.24 here. That's about a 50 cent swing on the day, or about 1.2 percentage points. It's very interesting. We were looking as maybe is this the top, but so far crude oil, at least on the front month, has been steading strong at 40, which is great to see. Back into the curve, 41.10. So talk about a flattening of the curve right here coming down. It's only about a 42-cent move to the downside, or about 1 percentage point on that index. Natural gas, $1.62, down 1 percentage points, back into the curve for natural gas. 12-month strip, $2.72. That's down 1.69 percentage points. XOP, which is our E&P securities contract, 55.15. That's a 0.3 percentage point up. So basically flat for that contract today. OIH, which is our oil field services, basically finishes flat. Technically on the upside, 1.3 percentage point increase up to 129.14. When we look at our biggest movies on the equity side, Pacific Royalty Coast Trust, it was a nice little ETF. You can get yourself in on 41 cents. That's down 10 percentage points. Gulfport Energy Corporation down 13 percentage points, $1.09. And Mexico Energy Corporation, a little tongue twister there, down 17 percentage points, $3.07 on the chains. On the upside, though, we had some pretty big numbers on the upside, and we'll get into them here. Midcon Energy Partners up to $4.16, up 12 percentage points. Lillis Energy Inc., up 63 percentage points, up to 40 cents even. And that's not even the biggest mover on the day. Barnwell Industries Inc., up to $1.35, a 70% move, 73% move exactly for that index, or about 57 cents. So, hey, good bull run. You can get going right there. Please, guys, before we get in on the international news, I would highly recommend checking out theoilandgasconference.com. It's going to have all the information on how to get access to the best digital investor conference you're going to see in 2020. Usually it's held in Denver, but coronavirus, we're having to go digital now, and it's honestly an awesome for it. You're gonna be able to access all of the investor presentations, all of the breakouts from wherever you are. And if you're in one of the little local areas, which is Denver, Calgary, Houston, and Dallas. Now, those are just on the books right now. Things are up in the air. You can register for a small in-person interview or seating attendance, which would be really cool. Check all the information out at theoilandgasconference.com. Stu, what's going on in the international news desk?
Hey, Michael, thank you very much. We always have a saying, what's a few billion between friends? ADNOC Pipeline in this assets is leasing their assets of about 30 pipelines for $10 billion for 20 years. What's a few billion between friends?
Anyway, no kidding.
That's a pretty big one. Then we also have the Japanese company MOL is getting rid of 40 of their ships
Really?
just to try to survive COVID. But yet we have TMS Cardiff picking up
Mhm.
new LNG carriers. So it depends on who you are. Good management, good numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking along that lines, one of the biggest things that came across my desk was an EIA report. US LNG exports crashed by more than 50% since January, which is unbelievable. The US is now becoming the world's swing producer of LNG, which is a historic moment for the market. Generally, it's been a global related market, but now all of a sudden, because our exports have crashed by more than 50%, we are now sort of the biggest, we're in control right now. And the EIA is expecting US LNG export capacity to be utilized at less than 50% through to August, which is going to be unbelievable. Like I said, we now kind of become the key to the issue right here. And really, they point to historically those gas prices from Asia to Europe and lower demand during the pandemic have resulted in U.S. exports of liquefied natural gas dropping all the way to 8.1 billion cubic feet per day, which is an unbelievable number in terms of what we were doing last year. So it'd be, on the LNG front, not good. And, sort of the only other thing that came across my desk today is obviously, I think everyone's worried about that hit piece Bloomberg had. And all I'll say about it, you can go read the article yourself. Anonymous sources, I'm always wary of that. And when you have, I think the quote that's freaking everybody out is, let me pull it up here. Two engineers who obviously spoke on condition of anonymity, because why would you want to put your name to this? Two engineers say executive explicitly told them to inflate reserves. Others say the requests were implied, with only engineers who produce aggressive estimates landing promotion. So you can read the article yourself, but I am always skeptical of anonymous sourcing. But with that, I think we're going to let you guys get back to work. Thank you for checking out the 360 Digital Glow ticker here on Oil and Gas 360. We'll see you guys tomorrow.